welcome to Copenhagen. Thanks for dropping in. Hope everybody is doing well. Today I want to talk about labelling of storage systems. Now this is the system that you use or may use in the future to store your drills while you're working on a diamond painting. I just want to talk about the way that I do it and why I do it the way I do it, and just basically explain the whole thing for people who are new so that you have a bit of an insight before you decide how to label up your drills. Okay, so when you receive your diamond painting you will get drills, and drills are the little plastic beads that you use to actually make up the picture. Now if you're very lucky, they will come in bags like this that are numbered and they have the DMC code on them, and you can actually work directly from these bags. You don't need to worry about getting any kind of storage system. So that is the ideal one. If you are getting your first diamond painting, you don't have anything except what you get in the box, this works no problem. Then you can also find that you open your box and your drills come like this. So big chain of the same colour. So you have all these strips, and the way that you would work if you were working from these is to cut a bag open, pour the drills out into the tray, use the drills that you need to use, then pour the drills back into the bag, and then use a piece of tape to fold it over, seal it, and hope that it doesn't pop off because you'll end up with drills falling out. In theory that'll work, but in the real world you will get very sick of this very quickly when you have hundreds of these bags to cut open, and you're trying to make sure they don't tear, because as soon as they rip down the way, the bag will just very easily split open, the drills go everywhere. So not ideal. They may come in bags like this, which are obviously a lot bigger, and again you would have to do the same thing. These ones, the individual colours come in individual strings. These ones that are from Diamond Art Club, they come in a long string, but they are different colours. And they have the number on the silver strip, so this is the DMC code, 3816, 3814, 3814, so those are the same, 562, 992, 310, 310, 991. But you can see the colours in this diamond painting are very similar. So looking along these, they look very, very similar, but they are different colours. So this is basically the sort of three different types you may get. The best one, again this is for people who are totally new and don't have any kind of system for keeping the drills in. You can work straight away easily from bags. This is probably the most frustrating. The ones with the very small bags, they hold about 200 drills. You have a lot of bags to open. I did have a custom and I had 350 bags of black to open this size. So yeah, this is the one that you hope you don't get. Again, you could work from these bags. They're a lot bigger, so it's easier to cut them and then tape them. But realistically, if you're going to be diamond painting for a long time, you're going to come up with a way to store your drills while you're working on a diamond painting. So that's the drills, and Then you have to decide which kind of storage you want. So I'll just go through some that I've got. You can get these round sort of pill bottles and pour your drills in that. So instead of having all these bags, you cut the bags open and you pour them into this, and then you tip some out and then use them, and then you pour them back in here. So there's that one. There's this one, Harbor Freight, that I did a video about recently. So again, you pour your drills into this and you work from these boxes. So you don't have to tape up anything like you have to do with these. Then we've got the Tic Tac box. Again, you're working from this. And then we have these ones as well. These are a bit different because they come in a row. They're joined together, as you can see. You can't split them. There's a little button on the end, and you press the button in. I'll turn it around the right way. You press the button in. You see the purple bar moves. That releases the catches. So then you pop that, and then you open that. So as soon as I let the button go, the rest are all locked. This is the only one that's open. So again, you can work from that and pour your drills into this. Now, these are only a selection. A lot of people have got different ways to do it. Most of them are some kind of container. But now it comes to the point where you want to label them so that you know which colour is in the box. When you get your diamond painting, you will get a key. It may be printed on A4 like this, or it may just be on the side of the canvas. And you will have a number, 1 to whatever. This is how many colours there are. So this one has 22 colours. Each number has a symbol, and this is what you'll see on the canvas. So when you're looking on the canvas and you see H, that's number 1, or it's number 150. This is the DMC code, and these are standard numbers. If the company uses DMC, it means that every time you see the number 310, it will be black. That's all it will be. It won't be M. So just to show, I've got another one, slightly different, but the DMC numbers are always in numerical order. So it starts from the lowest and goes up to the highest. So if I look for 310, which is there, 310 is black, different symbol. So 310 and 310. So you can see this one's an M and this one is this diagonal white line. So you can't look at them and say, okay, every time I get a diamond painting, an M is black. It isn't. These change all the time. So I've got a third one, and again, I'll look for 310. 310 is a white diamond on a black background. So the only thing that all of these have in common is 310 is black. Okay, so some sheets have a number, a symbol, the DMC code. It doesn't always say DMC, but the easiest way to check is if you can see a 310 and it's black, there's a very, very good chance that these are DMC codes, which are standard. Quantity, you'll get sometimes, it'll tell you how many drills are in the pack. This is how many bags, and this is the weight in grams. The weight is irrelevant to us. We don't need to know the weight. What we need to know is how many bags should we have. I will do a kitting up video, just taking a brand new diamond painting from scratch and going through all this. I'll do that in the future. But this one, I just want to talk about labelling up your containers. So 310 is black. If it's DMC code, it is always black. And here's another one. It's from Diamond Art Club. and again it's a 310, it's black, but it's a black square with a white dot. So that's 4 different keys, 4 different symbols. So you can't go by the symbol. All you can go by is the number, the DMC code. These numbers are always the same. So 310 is always black. 597 is always this colour. This has a lot that are very, very similar, and that's where these drills came from. You see there's a lot of shades of the same colour. So yeah, so it's just to get the point across that you can't go by the symbols. It's the DMC code that is the important thing. So taking that into account, there's different ways that people label up their boxes before they start. I'll just take the Diamond Art Club one. So some people, this is actually, Diamond Art Club I think are the only company that do this. This is actually a sticker. So what you can do is you can actually cut along and cut these out, and then you can stick this on your box. So then you have on your box the number, the DMC code, and the code. Well, I should read that the other way, because it's the number, the code, which is the symbol that's on your canvas. So if you see a 1 with a green background, that is DMC 134, which is number 1. So some people would cut this out and stick it on their box, and just basically go through all these, and this one's 26. So they would have 26 boxes or tubs or whatever they're using, and they would have these stuck on them, so they know which colour this is and which symbol it goes with. Now there is a problem with doing that, or I see it as a problem, that if you have one like a custom that I did, and it has 90 colours, so 90 colours in this one, that would mean that I would have to copy all the codes, like the symbols and the DMC number, onto individual tubs. So I would have to write out or cut out, but as I said, Diamond Art Club I think are the only ones that do this. Failing that, you have to actually write it on a label, or write it with a pen that you can rub off, and write the DMC code and the symbol on each box. Now, I'm not a great artist, and some of the symbols I think would be quite difficult to copy. Plus, it's the time it takes you to sit and draw them all. So to me, there's a lot of work in that, and you get them all set up and then you're ready to go. When you finish your diamond painting, the next diamond painting will be completely different. So that means you have to take off all your labels, or rub off all the writing that you've got on your containers, and then start again. Now, if you've got something like this, this is unusual. Not many people do them with 90 colours, but I have quite a few customs that have between 70 and 90 colours. This would mean that I would have to write up 90 labels and then do the diamond painting. When I'm finished, take all the drills out, take all the labels off, and then write all the labels again for the next one every time I do a new kit. So I don't really fancy doing that. So the way that I do it is I have them labelled, just the numbers. So these are the boxes that I use, and you can see I'll turn that later, but I think I'll switch it off. Yeah, that's better. You can see 90, and that is because this is the most that I've done so far. So what I did was I labelled 1 to 90, and when I put the labels on, I put a piece of clear tape, maybe, can't really see that one, but anyways, clear tape over the top, and then that stops it peeling up or flaking off or getting grubby. So it's just a piece of clear tape over the top of them. to keep them nice and clean. And that's it. I never have to change the labels at all. So when I finish 90 colours, I take all the drills out, I store them, and then I set up for the next kit. So if I was doing, just pick the big one that's easy to read. So 22 colours in this one, so I would only be using the first 22 boxes, and then all I do is box number 1 is DMC 150. So I look for the bags that have 150 printed on them. The ones that I just pulled out, this is actually from this diamond painting. So put the light back on, I think. So the code, the DMC code for this colour is 947. So as I said, the numbers are in order. So I look for 947 and they go in box 15. So I would get that these drills would go into number 15. And that's it. So basically what you do is you look at the code, you find the code on the bag, and you put that colour in the number. So DMC 150 goes in 1, good old 310 black goes in 2. So when I'm working the diamond painting, I look on the canvas for the symbol that I want to do, and we'll just say it's this green box with the black T. So I look at that symbol and I look there, and that's 6. So all I do is I go to my boxes, I go to box 6, and that's the right colour. And again, when I finish it, all I do is I take all the drills out, and then I start setting up for the next one. So I would get, for example, say I was doing this one next, I would look for DMC bags numbered 150, and they would go in box 1. 154, box 2. 155, box 3. So then when I'm actually doing the picture, I look on the canvas and say, for example, I see this white hourglass shape. That's box 2. So all I use is the number, nothing else. I don't have the DMC numbers written on them, because as soon as I do that, I would need to relabel them every time. And it is a lot of work to sit and do that, and I would rather be diamond painting than sitting writing labels. As far as the labelling goes, these round labels actually came with these, so they were already printed. It's just a matter of sticking them on, putting a piece of tape over it to keep them clean. You don't always get them, it depends which company you get them from, and sometimes they'll send you some labels with them, so you just have to manually write 1 to whatever. So that's one way. Other times you don't get labels, so you have to come up with your own way. You can buy these labels, they're really cheap, from a stationery store, and write them up, but you'll be able to find them already numbered, which is the neatest if you like things to be neat and tidy like I do. Or you can buy a label maker and you can print your own numbering. So just different ways to do it. The cheapest way obviously is just to write them by hand, but buying pre-printed labels, they hardly cost anything, they're very cheap, and you only do it once. That's the big advantage of this, is you only do this once. The only time that I will have to write a new label is if I get a kit that has over 90 colours. Then I just label up whatever extras I need, and that's it. So hopefully it made some sense. I know it can be kind of confusing when you're talking about different numbers. The main thing is, if you number them just 1 to whatever it is, all you're doing is looking at that. You're looking at the symbol first on your canvas. Pick the one that you're going to do, and you find it on your key, look across, and it's that number, whatever one it is. something else I was going to mention. Oh yeah, sometimes when you get these keys, they're numbered 1 to whatever it is. These are Diamond Art Club is 1 to 26, but sometimes you'll get some that don't have the number. This one's from Craftology. I don't know if they've changed this, but they normally don't have the number. So it isn't a big deal. All you do is grab a pen, number them 1, 2, 3, and just go down in order, and then you've got your numbers. And then you just work it from that. So then you're looking at your... It can be confusing because they've got ID, but it is the DMC number. Again, 310 is black. Sometimes you look at that and you think, what is that? But you've got your symbol, you've got this number, you've got how many drills are in the bags, how many bags. So this number that you're not sure, the chances are it is DMC, and the easiest way to just check it is to look for the number 310 and see if it's black. Hard to tell looking at the sheet. You wouldn't really look at the sheet. What you would do is you'd go to the bags of drills, you look for 310. 310, it's pretty obvious, it's black. So that's the quick way to do it. The last diamond painting that I opened actually never had any 310, which is very, very unusual. But yeah, that's the way that I do it. Just number the boxes, and I never have to number them again. So yep, I think that's pretty much everything. Just one thing I want to mention that doesn't really have anything to do with this, but it is part of kitting up for me. Excuse me. When you get your key, most of the time it's on a sheet of A4 paper. Now, when you're working on your diamond painting, you have an area that is exposed and you have extremely sticky glue on that area. If this paper touches that glue, it will stick and it will rip and it will be stuck to your glue. It is a relatively common thing to happen. Accidents happen. It happened to my wife last summer. She had the key just lying at the side. Maybe this area here was open. She was working on this. The windows were open. There was a gust of wind. It blew the key. It flipped over and it landed on the glue. She tried to peel it off and it tore. Just basically it turned into a mess, and there was a big patch of paper stuck on the glue. If this gets ruined, it isn't really a big deal because you've got the key printed on the canvas as well. But if you do have this, what I do is I use placemats, like table placemats, which is what you're looking at just now. I cover the whole thing up when I'm not working on it to stop dust and hair and crumbs, anything going onto the diamond painting. It does have release paper on it underneath here. It's not on top of the glue, so it's just an extra layer of protection. But it also is a good work area for me. This table is tilted, so if I didn't have the mats on it and I sat these drills down, they would just slide down because the release paper is glossy, and anything that I place on that would just slide. These boxes would slide as well. So these mats provide friction, everything just sits on it, so that's why I use them. But I've also found another little trick. I have a spare one, and what I do is I get my key and I get a couple of cover minders. Some people might not know what they are. Cover minders are something, this just happens to be mine, but they can be any shape, and they have a magnet on the bottom, and then they have another magnet so they stick. So what you do is you put the magnet underneath the paper, you put the other magnet over it, and it sticks. I use 2 just to make sure the paper doesn't like swing onto the glue. So what I do is I'll have a second one, and then you can see in the back the magnets are stuck, so I can tip this up, move it about, anything, and the paper will not end up on the glue. Maybe the plastic might at some point, but if this lands on the glue, it's very easy to peel up. I mean, it does stick, but it is still easy to lift off. This is a plastic. It looks like a woven material. It sort of feels like a woven material, but it's actually plastic. The reason that I use plastic is you don't get any fibres or dust. If this had been fabric, you'll get like fine fibres coming off it, and that can end up on your glue just in the air, and then the glue isn't quite as sticky because you've got a little fibres stuck to it. So this is what I do. Basically, I've got a placemat that I have my key on. So I work in one area, cover it up, I move this over, open a new area, and I work like that. So maybe a handy hint for some people, something that you maybe haven't thought about, but if you're in the groups, you will see quite a few pictures of torn paper on glue. It happens, even if you try to be very careful, things can just happen and the paper lands on the glue. So I think I've covered everything. Hopefully it made sense and it's given you an idea about how to label. People have different systems, and I know that people will use the systems they've always used because they're just used to it, which is fine. But this video was aimed more at people who are new and they don't have any kind of system yet, and it's just something to think about, that I will never have to relabel a box. So I'm not going to have to sit and take 80 or 90 labels off and then put 80 or 90 labels on. That is quite a lot. I mean, I'll just have a look at these just to get a figure. So this one only has 26. This is the 90, we'll forget that one. 34, this one. And the owl was 22. I would reckon if you have about 50, that should be enough for most people. It's unlikely you're going to go over 50. But I have seen, I think I saw somebody said they had one that had something like 200 and something colours. That is very, very unusual. So I think anywhere between 30 and 40 is probably sort of normal, maybe going up to about 50. But I do have a few customs that are in the range of 70 to 90 colours. But now that I've labelled up the boxes, I'll never have to relabel them. So that's why I do it. To save time, I just find it an easier system to work. And I like easy and I'm lazy. So it definitely works for me. So that is it. That is how I label my boxes, and hopefully it made sense explaining why it is easier. It certainly takes a lot less time when you move on to your second kit. The other thing that I didn't really make clear, I don't think, is if you do get these bags, as I said, you can work directly from the bag, but it doesn't have the symbol. When you look on the canvas, you'll be looking at a little symbol, and then what you do is you look along, and so this would be number 8. So for me, this would be box number 8. For example, I'll just take this as an example. So I know it isn't the right colour, but just say it was for this kit. Number 8, and I would look for number 8. So number 8 is there, which is a black X on a blue background. So if I see a black X on a blue background, I know that it's number 8, so it would be bag number 8. Number 8. if I turn it around the right way. So yeah, I think it can be a bit confusing at the beginning, but once you're actually sitting in front of a diamond painting and you've got your sheet, it does make sense. So again, I'll just, of course, I'll pick the one I put the magnets on. Okay, got it. So again, for example, you've got a bag when you're setting up, and we'll just say it says number 823 when you're doing this kit. So you're looking for 823 and the symbol, so the symbol is a white R, and that goes in number 9. So when you see a white R with a sort of purple background, you take the drills out of box number 9. So the setting up is basically what you're doing is you're putting the correct colour into the correct number. Once you've done it, you've set up. It's what they call kitting up. People sometimes say, how long does it take to kit up? Definitely, if you do the numbers, it takes you a lot less than someone who is sitting writing out new labels for every colour every time they start again. So that is the big advantage, I think. To me, it's pretty obvious. So once you label up, the thing is, remember to put clear tape over the labels, because over time they will start to peel up or curl up or start to get grubby looking. So a piece of clear tape over the top keeps them nice and clean. So basically you never have to label them again. So as I said, I hope it wasn't too confusing, and I hope it made sense. And I think it's definitely something to think about before you start setting up your kits. I have spoke to some people who, when I explained what I did, they sort of thought about it and thought, I don't know why I didn't do it that way in the first time. But I think it's people, you see people doing things on YouTube and you see 2, 3, 4 people doing the same thing, and then you think, right, okay, if they're all doing it, I'll do it. And you don't really think too much about it until you're sitting relabeling 90 boxes and you start to think, well, why am I doing it this way? That's what happened to me, but that was long before I did 90. I'd already figured out the system worked, for me anyway, a lot better. Some people may enjoy making up labels and drawing symbols. I definitely don't. The part of diamond painting I hate is prepping. I would rather be dotting than prepping. So that's it for today. Thanks for watching. I think I've repeated and repeated. I don't know if that helps or confuses. I'm sorry if it confuses, but hopefully it makes sense. If you get your first diamond painting and you're sitting looking at that sheet of paper thinking, what do I do now? Quick mention again, Instagram. Thank you very much to all the people who are following me on Instagram. I just passed 1,400 followers, which was really nice to see. I also have a little competition coming up in my diamond painting group, which is on Facebook, and it's called Diamond Painting Gym. No surprise there. So if you join the group before Sunday the 7th of March, you will see a competition coming up on Sunday. It will run for a week, and the winner will be announced on Monday the 15th of March. And the prize is a diamond painting pen and a diamond painting gym cover minder, which are very few and far between. Not a lot of people have them. So the main thing is it's just a piece of fun, and as I said, the competition will be appearing in the Facebook group on Sunday. So if you're interested in maybe winning something like that, just let me know, and you can join the group and you'll see the competition. So thanks again for watching. That's it for today. In the meantime, take care, be safe, and wash your hands.